Or attacks. Attacks. To be attacked. You know, an actual physical to be remaining fact. You know, an actual attack and defense. Why wait? To defense when to be on. The defense is to be on attack at any given moment, any given notice. But attacks are being held against our young people and children and turn them over to Muslim. Well, regardless of how good and all these people feel about whatever, their books, you know, there's some good things in there, but it's based on a background and a life of what they called prophet. And I don't mean that like somebody prophet. I mean a profiteer, to make a profit. That's all that guy was. And, you know, he found the one that he liked, that 6-year-old that he only just stuck his cock and slid it between her thighs, you know, because, well, you know, I really dig her, you know. And she happens to be the daughter of one of my main generals, majors, whatever they call them back in them days in the army, you know. And man, she's such a sweet thing, you know. You're a what? A private? I want to make you a general in my army to help me run the situation, you know. But I like your daughter. I like to have her, you know, my wife. Oh, okay, sure, why not? I'm going to be a general? Fuck. All right, man. Yeah, I don't know. This guy's wanting me to be a general. He wants to go fuck my daughter. I mean, what? I don't know. A general? You imagine all the shit I can have now? All right. Okay, I'll talk to her with the old lady. I'm back. Well, sure. Okay. So now this guy's just banging this whatever he have, dividends, you know. And he gets to where, you know, there's other stuff going on. I mean, there's the army march and other slaves and stuff, and he's having his ways with these slaves. You know, he's just not saving himself for this 6-year-old. And wait till she gets 9 years old, and then we're gonna put it in, baby. We're gonna hump that stuff all night long. And you know, I've got you craving it so bad by jabbing it between your legs all these years, but you just put this thing anywhere I tell you to, you know, and because you want to, because that's what this enslavement, lustful enslavement is of Muhammad, you know. And see, that's the problem I have with these people and believing in that book and that kind of a leader, because that is just totally asshole wrong, you know. It's just, that's not good. That's just, I can't accept that. I won't accept that, you know. A murderer, you know, he did kill. And you see, when he died, and who knows exactly what and how he died. He was just like in his 50s or whatever. 54 when he's banging his 9-year-old, you know. Jeez, dude. You know, I'm still horny too, you know. I'm still hot. I can still go. I can have children. And, but that's not having children. That's, you know, having a way with children. So, see, I can't accept that, okay? No. But in the mind of this private that got boosted to general, when Muhammad went out, this private, much like Muhammad being an only child, and then his mother and father died, or did they just run off and leave him? This little fuck, you know? So he too was, you know, kind of mistreated while he was being not even raised, you know, whatever. And then coming to this this general thing, and get to learn this war and this killing and feel it. When you're up in the general, and you do the killing in a war and you pillage, you get a lot of this stuff, you get a big share of this stuff. Actually, just bring it in here. A Mercedes, bring it on in here, a yacht, bring it, yeah, right over there, park it. I just got this place, give it to me here, so let's go. So now this guy's really into wanting to, collect stuff, Muhammad's dead now. My little girl, God, she's like, I don't know how old he was when Muhammad died. I didn't really look into really care about that part, It didn't really matter to me. It didn't matter to anybody, because who'd want to remember somebody like that and then call them, So if these people are Muslims are willing to call this guy like a prophet to look up to, like we think of Christ and what he did to try to relieve the wails of the woes of oppression that are put on everybody under any freaking government, And he's trying to get us out from that. We don't, and these people stone. Something happened, well, yeah, you go and you stone this motherfucker, okay? You stone, okay, weekend block stoning, come on down, don't be late. If you don't show up, you could be in here next week, It's pretty wild stuff, huh? But see, I can't accept Muslims in their beliefs. They have to burn the Qurans, and they all have to be baptized, and they have to accept Christ, and they take off those burqas. And I think the country that you come from, that where that cartel is, caliphate, run by these IMEM, whatever, those people have to pay for the plastic surgery for those women that they've scarred, I mean, trying to break a woman's will, that you start scarring her face and her body. But she is a strong-willed woman, and she needs to be in freedom, because she would be a great leader in a lot of things, not just our governments, but all things, people. And they held on, and they held on, and they didn't let up. And so now they scarred their bodies. They wear these scars because of it. I think, they want to cover up what they've done to these women. So I think this is why burqas should be outlawed, and make it, one world government control. If you want to do one world government, let's take those burqas off all these women and make these guys pay for their sins that they've cast on all these people, Freaking Islam, pushing Muslims, Can you imagine if they were pushing Christians in a belief, then the Christians, yeah, and that's all Christians, Baptists and Methodists and, Catholics, man. It's like it could be a good thing, but, the people that run it, It's like the Muslims could be a good thing, but, it's the people that run it. One time it was a Christian, it could be a good thing, but it was the government that ran it and coerced and jolted these people into going and doing the things that they did, because it was a belief that was put in their mind. So I think it's about time we take these beliefs out of their minds, that these guys, since Muhammad's days, his 7 centuries, and, his father-in-law took over the thing, and he didn't have much, and he was going to have even more than Muhammad, And this stuff just get passed on. You go to this country, and we have such wealth. We're such wealthy. Wow, wasn't that a great raid, all this stuff? And then, however many while passes by, and you go, hey, man, what is? What's wrong? It's nothing, dude. I haven't seen you in a long, I know. But, dude, what do you need, man? Geez, I think things are running down. I thought maybe we should go out and pillage and rape another set of countrysides and their people. Because, I don't know, man, but I was down and saw these thoughts that this someone gave me of Christ and that rebirth in believing, and that we may receive to what we give, and that is good and kindness and blessings. Yeah. When there's something to be done, you just do it, You don't bypass it because they're blessings. It doesn't feel like it. But if you go about it and you'd have no ill feelings toward it, but you just do it, accomplish it, there's a blessing right there, and it's just for you, And then there's more, and there's more. Just all these little things that you do are blessings. That's why I've been picking up on this stuff. And it's too bad nobody else is, But you see, up until that moment, I was poor, and all I need is, what do I need? What I need is, I just need my thermos, my coconut water. That's all I need. And I have those thoughts to where you do kind things, and it grows, and it lifts oppression within your soul, in your bodily realm, to where this feeling, these things they talk about of light, to where the rays of light, the hues of color that shine through the rainbow, will be opening more and other doors. Now that's the kind of kindness I'm talking about. That's the kind of feeling. And it's going to happen. It's just where you're going to be when it does. Well, I've got to measure some things and get my project manager up and moving and blueprinting and designing, measuring, figuring out, purchasing, delivering, setting up, clean up, measuring out, dimensions and get the products and then measuring out again, sawing, cutting, molding, sanding, then the actual attachments, screws, nails, drill drivers, carpentry, drills, extension cords. Yeah. Then they got the physical where you're putting into it. You need these tools to do what. Still haven't found the perfect switcher though from the, preset flip screw, preset flip screw. It's, but anything in that close of a matter though with that would be like preset, drill, pre-drill, 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 pre-drill. Then you said screw. But just something that it switches quickly. If you only just got one or a few. So that's the name of that tune. What's the name of that tune? What in the hell was I talking about? Does anybody remember? Does anybody recall what the time was? What that flash of, I didn't even say brilliance, that just, right, enlightenment. And you have realization, and you realize there's just a little something more. Realization. Breathe in and just think of that kindness and those thoughts. And just go about whatever day you're in, whatever place you're in, and you see something, you can, whatever, you just be in kindness. Driving down the roads, don't run over everybody. Don't run over anybody. You can say whatever, but, do it in kindness. And try to understanding and understand and see what's what. Not just to fit in, but, I understand, but I'm moving on around this lot. Ta-da! Anybody out there? I don't see any commenting on my vids, so I don't think they're going out. So I'm going to send it to a few people, and that's why I'm doing it. Because I don't, they could be blocking this video right now. And if it wasn't at you, how would you ever know? My little chat rooms I get into. Well, I gotta do my thing, so later.